Alright, back with another home movie, nature film, whatever. So this is the garden. Those were lilies, but you couldn't see them very well. This is a butterfly, little brown butterfly, kind of like butterfly. And sort of is a monarch butterfly, like one anyway. It's like a variety of something like, but anyway, it's a butterfly. Yeah, and praying mantis really aren't big enough yet to nab them. Most of them are only a little over an inch long. There's a couple of 2 inches long or so. So some of them are getting pretty big. That's one of my petunias. I sort of raise them from a seed, kind of cross them every year, and so it's kind of a nice variety because it's pink and a little bit of purple. That's a praying mantis egg case. They're kind of neat because when they lay the eggs, it's all foam and then it dries hard and it's almost like polyurethane. They ought to insulate houses with that stuff. That's a wasp scraping wax off of these leaves. It's kind of interesting. I guess they make their nests out of this beeswax, wasp wax or whatever. That's what a little praying mantis is. He's only about an inch long one. And that's a big praying mantis. No, I guess that's a cat. A big hairy praying mantis. He's got like praying mantis legs. He's got little thumbs. I call them thumbers. He's got little extra big thumbs. He can really use them. He can move them, and he can actually pick things up. So he's kind of a useful cat if I could actually train him to do something useful. And that's the butterfly again. That's another praying mantis there. See, he's hiding, pretending to be a leaf. Waiting for some sucker to come along. See, he's just like the cat. See, the cat grabs the other cat's head. A little praying mantis cat. Yeah, so, the two cats do mess with each other now and then, just for the hell of it. And, but it's cats. Cats are always a little bit entertaining. So, this is the field. I hit golf balls down here now and then, so it has some real brushy stuff there. I'll have to go in there someday and have an adventure. And see what kind of assassin beetles and such I can find. This is a deer leg out in the middle of my field, so apparently some animal, a coyote or a dog or something, found some dead deer and pulled its parts up, moved them around. Hopefully the sound will be on this one. This is the neighbors were having a party. They're like 300 yards away, but they had a big huge tent and had some guys playing banjo and shit, and it's pretty bad music. It's actually really bad, but they don't do this shit too often, so it's not so bad. A little, people having fun. That's what it was. People having fun. There was some girls in bathing suits I caught on there now and then. So this is, now they're playing a really bad version of, a Deliverance song, dueling banjos or whatever. It was just so bad. It's just they ought to break their banjos. So a little inchworm. And more party festivities. They had all these cars parked in the field, and I was up on the roof. That's the only way I can see that house. So this is the view from up on my roof. So it's the only way I can see all the way over to the farm where I was before. See that tent over there in the corner. And so this is the backyard, and a little messy. And the front yard, and up towards the driveway, and that's it. There's a little dead chipmunk the cats killed, and I guess they just left it there, sitting there. So I was looking at it, I was thinking of Zach. I was saying, this is life, Zach. This is life in the wild, Zach. One day you're having a good little life, and the next minute you're, flies are laying their eggs in your eyes. I mean, that's nature, and it sucks. It just sucks. So they're nice little creatures. Them chipmunks, kind of cute. There's a spider. Yeah, I just caught him. He just grabbed a centipede, and then he tried to grab a second one when he already had one in his clutches. And so he's climbing around. You can't really see it, but he's got a little centipede caught underneath him that he's killing in the process of liquefying, and it was still twitching around and such. So it takes a while for them to die as they get their, innards liquefied. So spiders are kind of nasty, and you can barely see them there. But I kind of know what kind of. These are all like I just call it a garden spider, but it's a variety of garden spider, I guess. And this was back towards that pond area that I saw in the other video. So this is a cop that pulled somebody over. But it's kind of funny because it's a township cop, and we live in the borough, so he must have had to chase the person from the township into the borough before they stopped. And that was a nice pile of goose shit. Just to point out that how wonderful geese are. They just leave shit all over the banks of the pond. It's just terrible. Can't walk anywhere without that shit all over the place. And this is a thing the environmental people do, and so they're like trying to replant native species, and so they have to put all this fencing up, they got all this crap. I planted a lot of these trees in here just because a couple of years ago, I haven't made it the last 2 years, but I did make it the year before the last year, and so I planted some of these trees. You know, it's a nice thing to do, but it is kind of just silly to have to, you know, put up all this stuff just to stop the deer from eating it all, just so you can reclaim some tiny little portion of the forest. You know, so it's kind of a waste. This is me. I was running up a rock. There's a rock back in the park when we were kids. That was kind of our challenge, was to be able to run and go up the rock, you know, without using your hands. And so I just tried it for the hell of it, because I hadn't done it in 20 years. And I got up the rock pretty easily, but you know, I'm a lot taller than I was, so it's not much of a challenge. There's a baseball field they put in. It's only like 300, 400 yards from where I used to live. And so as kids, we really would have loved having this. I mean, we were playing in shitty backyards with, you know, garbage as bases and stuff. And it's just kind of, you know, it's a really nice field. And of course, there's no kids playing on it. You know, so it's just kind of funny how the world has changed. I mean, if middle of summer we had a baseball field like this right down the street, you know, we would have been there all day. This is a street I used to live on, so I'm coming from, there's a dead end, and these are the two houses on the dead end, and those were my two best friends on either side when I was a kid. And we used to play baseball in the road right there. Right in that dead end, we'd play a game called like 500, where one guy would hit the ball and the other, you had to catch it. If you caught the fly ball, you got 100 points, and grounder, you got 50 points, and blah, blah, blah. This is my old house where I used to live. It used to be painted brown, nice brown color. But now it's gotten all rich and fancy, so everybody paints their houses conservative white and such. But these trees in the yard, this used to, especially that dark one, I remember planting that one. But they're all our old Christmas trees. And so I remember this horrible winter day in January, and I'm out there in the yard digging a hole with a pickaxe and a shovel, you know, in the frozen ground to plant that damn tree. Because we get a live tree for Christmas and then plant it in the yard. So it's just kind of funny to see them now, you know. They're really big trees. And this was a little tiny stream. It's only 3 feet wide, a little trickle of a thing that went right down the side of my house, and then there was another stream it fed into in the backyard. It goes to that pond. So it was really it was really a perfect location. It was a really nice place to grow up. The new owners there don't take care of the yard too well. Those stumps are like 2 feet across, and those were little tiny willow trees that were when I was a kid. And it's a real pretty, these dragonflies. There's this one kind, they're kind of big, and they're this light blue color. So they're kind of interesting. Dragonfly is a weird animal. I mean, you figure, why didn't it grow a brain? It's been around hundreds of millions of years. And, you know, you think they would have grown a brain. So there's a painted turtle, and so this little turtle comes up, I guess it's the male, coming up to say hi to the female. And she just says, fuck you. And, you know, life is kind of depressing. They aren't the same two turtles I threw in before. They're smaller ones. They're only 2 or 3 years old. This is just something, I ran across this little puddle, and there was these little tiny frogs, only like your little smallest fingernail. They're really small, and they had their legs and everything, but they were still, you know, tadpoles. And that's that nice petunia, the Inmendum petunia. And this is proof, yeah, see, I do know some people don't hate me, and they actually let me swim in their pool. So I had some fancy swimming pool privileges. Of course, I hadn't dumped off a diving board in 20 years, so not much style. But yeah, it's kind of nice, you know, to live like the rich people now and then. So that's the end, I think. Should be the end. Probably the end. So until next